So you just landed on a new server in Valheim. Maybe it's your first time, maybe it's not. What are you gonna do now? May I make some suggestions? Get some food and build a shelter. Luckily I'm here to show you how to build an easy but functional 300 wood house that will keep you out of the cold. Step 0. You might have done this already, but you need to make some tools. The first you're going to need is a stone axe. Secondly, you're going to need a hammer so you can make things. And third is a hoe. Remember that you need a workbench to make this. Step 1. Find a good spot. Now this can take a little while, you might have to run around a little bit. I found some pretty good spots and I decided on this one, because it's on the coast. Step 2. Gather 300 or so wood. I think I ended up at about 320 wood for this build, and it can easily be done in one day. You can also pick up branches, which is quite handy, or you can take down larger trees. Just be careful not to take damage. This hurts. Don't die by a tree. As you're chopping trees, your inventory might get really full. Please don't forget that you can make wood stacks, and you're going to need 6 wood stacks to make this build. Step 3. Flatten the ground. If you find a place that is quite flat, you don't have to do this, but I like to do it anyway, because then you know that nothing is going to cut through your floors. Also, don't forget to remove any unwanted trees. At this point in the game you won't be able to remove any stones, so do make sure that there aren't any stones in the middle of your house. Okay, it might look a bit cool. And put down a workbench. Step 4 is the longest in this one, that is the build itself. So I made a post here where I wanted the corner of the house to be, so I'm going to remove that and then try to place this beam on top of the ground. If it's not on top of the ground, when you try to put your flooring in, it will cut through the dirt underneath and it will look a bit weird. I'm putting down the foundation and I will show you the measurements in just a moment. These are the measurements. It's 10 on the longest, 8 meters on the shortest side, and then 1.5 before you have a little pokey out bit with 1 meter beams for the door. Let's start putting up the walls. So this is going to be the lower side of the house, and this is where I'm going to put my fire. It's also nice to have some windows, so I'm making sure to not put full-size walls for that. I will put a half wall instead. We then put in half walls to measure all the windows. There will of course be a floor on this, so you will be lifted slightly up and you will be able to look out the windows. We're now going to start doing the roof. So we're going to grab our wood wall edge that is 26 degrees, and then some half walls to go underneath. Now this needs to go all the way up to the front, so there will be 4 of the 26. Now we're going to do the same on the other side. I just realized that I put the wall segments in the wrong order. They need to be symmetrical or it's going to drive me crazy. We are now going to do the chimney, and I want to put an editor's note in here that you need to put 1 more 2-meter wall above this. It needs to be slightly taller because of a recent change to the game where the smoke from a fire takes more space to move. This also means that if this roof is too close to the fire, it will put the fire out. So build this chimney, but build it another 2-meter wall above it so it sticks out a little bit more, and then you won't have the trouble with the fires going out. So we're just making sure these little holes are tight with some little 1-meter walls. That looks good from the outside. So this is going to be slightly taller to make the fire actually work, but it's not going to look that different because you won't be able to see it from the front anyway. I put some beams around here because it looks a little bit prettier. I actually kind of like that the thatch roof is poking through. It makes it look a bit rustic, so I'm going to keep it like that. Now we're half done with the roof, we're going to do the rest. We will do a bit of an awning at the front as well, but I will finish the front before I do this, and then I'll show you how to do it. So far so good, we now just need to do the front. I'm going to move my workbench inside first. It's just a thing I do, and repair my hammer. Now we're going to do the front of the building. This is a little bit more intricate because we have this pokey out bit where the door goes. I did just realize that I did build that slightly wrong, so I will be removing the top 2 small ones on the left side. This is where I realized that I built it too tall. So there'll be 4 on top of each other, and then we need the longer 2 meter, which will go across just behind this little outbuild, I guess. Don't forget the 1 meter at the end. Now we need to put a little bit of a roof over this outbuild. It's going to be a little bit taller than the wall, but don't worry about it, that won't be a problem. 26 angle here, and another one on this side, so it's tight on the edges, and then we're going to put some beams just above. This will make sure that the door sits firmly in place, but that little gap at the top is not really a problem. This section is completely optional. You can make just a full wall at the top, or you can do like me and make a little decorative window. Since we are at the very start of the game, we don't have to worry about flying enemies or flying raids yet. It'll be quite a while away, so having quite a few windows won't really do anything. It will make it look really pretty though, so we can enjoy the view from everywhere, and of course enjoy the natural sunlight. The natural game sunlight, that is. We're almost there. Now we just need to put in this awning that I mentioned before. So we're going to use the small 26 cross. Take our 26-degree roof, and then we're going to try to get it to fit onto it. There we go. And then we continue along. We can remove the cross and continue along the roof. And of course we need to put some beams on the side so they kind of look the same as the side of the house. These are again completely optional. You don't have to put beams here if you want to save some wood, but I think it looks better. Now that we've beamed everything, it's time to put in a door. I put a full-size door on this one because it looks better. And now it's time to put some flooring. So because we put the beams when we made the outline on top of the ground, this will look quite high, but it will fit together with everything else and you won't get the ground clipping through the wood. You also need to make sure that there is no wood in the fireplace because you can't put a campfire on top of wooden floors. So we're just going to put the 2x2s all the way around, and then we're going to put 1x1s by the door. The floor is set, and the only thing that I need to do is make a little staircase outside the door so you don't have to jump through the door. You're going to have to figure out how you want to do this because sometimes it might not be necessary, and sometimes like this you'll still be clipping. So I'm going to try to free move this around so it sits properly. Perfect. So this is the outside of the house, and now comes the decorations. So in this step 5 you make the necessary furniture. The necessary furniture at this point is of course your workbench. You're going to need a fire to keep yourself warm. You're also going to need a bed so you can sleep in, and it will have to be close to the fire. In this house it will reach everywhere, so you can put the bed wherever you want, and you're going to need some storage chests. So these are the most necessary things in the start of the game. Anything else that you want to put in is completely optional. I also put some standing wood torches because it makes the little gremlins run away and it looks nicer from far away when it's dark. If you put your workbench here, you will have actual space for all of your extras like the tanning rack, and you'll also have space for a forge when that time comes around if you haven't built a crafting house yet. Look at these views. I love having windows in houses. It's so pretty. So there you have it guys, the 300 wood house. I think I used about 320 wood and 5 stone for the fire. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this kind of videos, do let me know in the comments below and I'll definitely make more. And I hope that this was useful to you. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.